All right. We're looking at the day of the Son of Man. The day of the Son of Man. You basically find this concept in the last half of Luke 17. And it's a very important concept, because you'll find that it's very clear that that day of the Son of Man is exactly the same as the coming of the Son of Man mentioned in Matthew 24 and Mark 13, and by extension Luke 21. Okay, um, yeah, and we know that those descriptions of the coming of the Son of Man is after the Great Tribulation. The very definition of the Great Tribulation is given in Matthew 24 and Mark 13. And then it says after that Great Tribulation, or that great time of oppression, or that great time of trouble. Then we have the tremendous signs in the sky, the sun and the moon going dark, and or the moon going to blood, so on and so forth. And then the coming of the Son of Man. Well, it's very clear, and I'm not going to go over it, but it's very clear that Luke 17, the day of the Son of Man, is exactly the same. It's no different whatsoever. So, looking at this little these little notes here, all right. If the day of the Son of Man, we get that from Luke 17, equals the revealing of the Son of Man, that's also in Luke 17. You can have a look at that for yourself. That's just another description of the day of the Son of Man given in Luke 17. But it's interesting when we compare it to the epistles, which is what we're going to do. And that is equal to the coming of the Son of Man. Looks like I left that equal sign out there. Equals. Yeah. That is equal to the coming of the Son of Man from Matthew 24 and Mark 13, and by extension Luke 21, but I haven't put that in here. All right. But basically, this is all from the Gospels. And it's all saying the Gospels are referring to this time period as after the Great Tribulation. All right. But then I've put also is equal to the day of the Lord. Now, why did I put that? Well, because when we look at the day of the Lord in Acts chapter 2, it's very clear that the massive signs, the sun turning dark and the moon turning to blood, so on and so forth, happened before the day of the Lord. It specifically states that, before the day of the Lord, right? And the same in Revelations chapter 6, right at the end of that chapter. Okay, it gives a very clear description of the day of the Lord there, and that follows these signs in the sky. All right, there's specific signs in the sky. So again, the day of the Lord appears to be after the Great Tribulation. So okay, this all equals what everybody agrees to this description, the second advent, the final return of Jesus Christ, if you want to put it that way. And it's after the Great Tribulation, by numerous of these scriptures that we've just looked at or just talked about. You can check this all out yourself. I'm not going to go into it specifically. So the question I want to pose is, how can the day of the Lord, Jesus Christ, sometimes it's, the day of Jesus or the day of Christ, right? I think on one occasion it's the day of God, okay? The coming of the Lord, or the coming of the Lord Jesus, or the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, or the coming of Jesus Christ, right? It's worded all different ways, but obviously it's the same thing, right? And the revealing of the Lord Jesus Christ. In the epistles, okay, which, clearly this is the coming of Jesus for his church. This is the day when he is exalted. This is his wedding day. Um, uh, this day is the big day for the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, how can that be any different to the day of the Son of Man? I mean, the Son of Man is Jesus, right? Or the revealing of the Son of Man, or the coming of the Son of Man. If if you've got some kind of theology which says that's different, then really you've got some kind of different audience in the Gospels than what is in the epistles. And so really you wonder where this hyper dispensationalism stuff comes from. Well, that thinking is in a lot of our theology. A lot of people who would say they're not hyper dispensationalists, and but basically, hyper dispensationalism is tending towards the position where only Paul's writings are truly authoritative, right? Are truly inspired uh, for the New Testament. The rest of it is still Old Testament, and so you only look to Paul's writings, right? Well, it discounts the Gospels and the other epistles except for Paul's epistles, right? Well, that's really the direction you're headed when you start to say this sort of stuff, and that's why a pre-trib concept needs to be looked very carefully because it's not consistent over the entire New Testament. And okay, if you want to go down the road of that hyper dispensationalism stuff, fine. That's a different story. But I don't. I don't believe that is correct at all. And so I don't believe that these 2 days, comings or revealings, can be any different. Thank you. I'll finish there.